Good evening, sir. How you been?
I'm doing well. I caught you in the middle of dinner.
I just got home and I'm just like taking a quick snack here, so I can
Okay.
keep going. So,
Well, I'll try and make this call as short as possible. Did you get
yep,
a chance to watch those videos?
yeah.
Okay.
I was able to
Those,
watch one with Christian, and
okay,
that was it.
okay.
The
The
other one
other
was
one
private.
is, yeah. Oh, they should be set up the same way.
Okay, I will see if maybe I'll check it and see if I can watch that one then too.
Okay. The other
So,
one is eerily similar. Okay.
okay,
In fact, you know, the thousands of companies that I talk to, that's a situation they're in, right?
I
Uh,
that just wows me. How I mean, he's doing the gentleman from Dallas Fort Worth, DFW Christian, he was saying in that video that he's doing $100,000 a month in revenue, total revenue, and there was no idea where his money's going to.
exactly, exactly.
And I mean nothing. And then he also commingles his personal and his business.
Yeah,
He is just waiting for. He is an audit red flag, just ready to happen.
yeah.
Um. So yeah, I was just like when I watched that one, I was just like, holy cow, he needs not only an accountant, he needs someone to because I mean he did say that, hey, yeah, I had a mentor. I don't think he had a mentor. He had someone here. This is what you do to start a business. It's not a mentor because a mentor would have said, no, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z and not A, B, and C, or just here, do this advertising because that was horrible advice as far as even the advertising is concerned
Hmm.
to spend that much and so forth. So I was like, I don't even spend that much.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and
the same thing. What was his name? That joined our group mentoring sessions for a while, who started a pay-per-click campaign.
yes, Arturo.
Arturo, yeah. Haven't
Yes.
heard from him for a while. I've been meaning to get back to him. But he's another one that's gonna blow his brains on a pay-per-click campaign, right?
Yes.
All these people are being sent in the wrong direction, and in most cases, in a lot of cases, they won't listen until they
Hmm.
learn by trial and error.
Hmm.
Then, after 4 or 5 years, they'll say, okay, Leo, you were right, but they'll never say that.
No, 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 no,
Right.
no,
But
no.
but with the right strategy, we can talk to these people before they get into deep shit.
Yes.
Okay. So the question I have for you is, I mean, there's going to be hundreds of guys like this in the next,
Okay.
3, 5, 6, 12 months.
Yes.
Hundreds, literally.
Yes.
If we
Okay.
market towards that purpose, there's going to be hundreds of these guys.
Yes.
The question is, are you ready, or when will you be ready to start onboarding these people? And how do we do it? How do you propose we reach these people? Because you can speak a better language with them than I
Hmm.
can, right?
Okay. Yes.
You can speak peer to peer.
Yes. Yeah. They're looking at you as a 60-year-old telling me, oh, yeah, but you don't know what it's like now. And I can say, I've been doing this for 18 years recently, and I'm more their age. So, yeah, I'll be able to speak more peer to peer to them that way. Uh, And the other thing I was looking at whenever I sent you that one post from TikTok today, I said she has some very good comments.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two that I didn't fully agree with, but out of the five that she said, and the one that I did agree with was when I would go and talk to my old accountant, they knew what I was talking about. Whenever I was saying, "Hey, what do I need?" and she would just be like, "Well, just bring me this form, and this form." But when I got a new accountant, they didn't speak a more common person language or a contractor language.
Mm.
So I'm like, what forms do I need? So I'm actually asking another friend of mine. that knows a little bit more say, what forms do I send these people? So, and I also need to start practicing what I preach and using my own business. I need to start using my own uh, accounting firm or whatever, or stuff like that too. So I can say, hey, this is who I got these people working for me, and they don't need to know that it's my own business. And this is what they do for me. And I think if I can do that, I can show them, hey, this is what they've done for me in 2 months or so forth,
Okay.
just so I can better understand my books.
All right. So you would be a third party referral or recommendation.
Yes. Yep.
But then the question becomes, at what point you say, okay, I misspoke before, I own the business.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. And I see that too. Yeah. I see that. I just, that came to my head, should I be using my own service? But, I should use it so I know how it does work. So whenever someone says, well, how does this work? I can say, well, this is what the business does for you and so forth. So, and I would know firsthand, hey, this is what they've done for me.
Mhm. So really,
So,
based on what you're saying, you're still talking about using the subcontractor for the time being.
yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think that's the only way we can get it going at first because that takes me out of any legalese. Also, I'm just using a subcontractor as far as an accountant. So me starting a business, is there certain licenses that I need? I know for an accountant, someone that's just running your books or a bookkeeper for a business, you don't. But if they're going to prepare taxes, then you need to have certain licenses.
Yeah, and no, tax preparation, I don't think we should get there for a few years anyways.
Yes, exactly.
So
Yes.
so bookkeeping, but there's nothing wrong with hiring an accountant, a CPA,
Mm-hmm.
to create the strategy and to look over the
Okay.
books and say, here's the strategy, this is how
Yeah.
we're going to do it, and
Okay.
and then supervise, make sure the supervisors are trained properly
Okay.
to supervise the people in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
once we have a strategy, I don't know. The problem with bookkeepers is there's a lot of ways to categorize things, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, like meals should be a marketing expense,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Um, and there's different things that can be miscategorized. So what we need to do
Okay.
is hire a tax strategy lawyer and an
Okay.
accountant, a CPA accountant, to set up the overall strategy.
Okay.
So we know what category everything is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Then once we know how everything's going to be categorized, then everybody is trained in the same way. So the book's being done in Arizona, the book's being done in your backyard, the book's being done in, California, assuming
Yeah.
all the tax codes are the same, everybody's categorizing everything in the exact same way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
So
it
if
doesn't matter if
someone,
I lose someone, another person can take over and they're going to know the same exact.
right, because the training videos, right?
Yes.
Because when
Yep.
you lose someone, or let's say one of your employees moves to California, instead of losing a great employee, it gets hired by the California dealer, or
Yeah.
vice
Okay.
versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that way they're being trained properly. They've
Mm-hmm.
been trained by the exact same training videos, and
Yes.
everybody around North America is categorizing things exactly the same way.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I think that's important. Um,
So you think we should look for my next couple steps should be just looking for a tax lawyer
um,
and or should I be more focusing on obviously, setting up working on my business blueprint. So getting
yeah,
that going, but have a short-term goal of okay, within the next 3 months, I need to have
A
these
CPA, a
a
CPA.
CPA, a
Yeah.
CPA, and uh, possibly a tax lawyer within the next 6 months.
Yeah, and the CPA can just be a consultant,
Yes. Okay.
all right? And the
All right.
consultant is the CPA is just, we're going to hire you in the future, but we don't have a spot for you yet. But we
Okay.
need the overall strategy. Let's take into account, let's say, a painting company.
Yes.
Okay. Before we start working for a painting company, how are we going to categorize all the expenses?
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Once we
Yep.
have all the possible expenses, and then we hire, then we get a painter client, we already know how we're going to do him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I
Gotcha.
so I think it's designing the business blueprint before you get your
Hmm.
first client.
Yes. And I was going over that yesterday. Even in, I read through it 3 times yesterday, and I'm like, okay, that one that you sent us it via the email. And I was like, okay, that was set up for, I believe, someone that was in a construction business and so forth. So I pretty much have to set up something, saying, okay, this is my steps that we're going to go through. Uh, don't really
And
need to, and it's pretty much, I want to differentiate myself from, because I know the language of what these guys go through, so I can translate, this business should be able to translate the common man to an accounting firm. They should be able to talk back and forth and not let you in, not know what even your terminology is.
yeah,
We need to come up with a more common terminology that these guys are going to understand.
right. To make them comfortable. I agree.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
um,
And I think
goodness, I,
that can happen through the branding differentiation, and stuff like that. So that's going to put us different.
yeah. I wanna share a video that I posted. It's a short video,
Okay.
talking about this subject. Um, oh, it's not posted yet.
Okay.
I didn't, yeah, I scheduled it to post tomorrow. So have a look at
Okay.
it tomorrow.
Okay. I
Um,
will.
because I use some pretty strong language. Um,
Okay.
I consider it inflammatory language. And inflammatory language gets people to respond, to
Yes.
disagree with me,
Hmm.
right? Um, and and when they disagree, they engage. When they
Yes.
engage, then we start a conversation. From the conversation, we
Yeah.
start building a trusted relationship, even
Yes.
from disagreement.
Yes.
So have a look at that one. So,
And I hope to be on the call tomorrow night as well.
okay,
Uh, so I just wasn't able to make it last week. I worked till 7 o'clock last week. So
yeah,
I was like, yes. I,
um,
I think that's one of the first ones I've missed in several weeks. So due to
yeah. I
that, so
was
I didn't
having
know
a
how
bit
many
of a
people.
cold, anyways. I could hardly speak.
Gotcha.
So what I want you to think about and talk with your lovely wife
Yep.
is at some point you have to make the transition. You have to start making the transition or redesign the priorities. Because right now,
Yes.
your day job is taking control of your life, right?
Yes. Yes.
I understand
Unfortunately,
you need to keep paying bills. I understand
mhm.
that. Um,
But
but
I need the new business to take priority
right,
is what it is. Yes. Because the
right.
other one really runs on autopilot. It really is. It's runs itself. Other than me have to be out there and running the business. But there are times whenever I may have an hour in between an estimate or something like that that I need to be saying, okay, what do I need to sit here and do while I'm waiting to go do the next estimate? Instead of figuring out, okay, what do I need to do for my current job, my current, because that's what it is. It says glorified job. Uh, and instead of worrying about that, worry about the other, take care of the other one and spend it, even if it's a half hour, 45 minutes in the middle of the day, and then come home at night and say, look, I got to put another 4 hours in on this and just work at it.
Yeah.
Be it posting videos, just doing conversations or working on my business blueprint, saying, okay, what's my steps that we need to focus on, and send it to you and say, okay, this is what I'm looking at doing, and get your feedback on it.
I'm wondering if it would make you feel more comfortable if you actually spoke with a subcontractor. Um, because really the steps we should be taking today would be for me to introduce you to those guys and say, hey, I understand. I know Leo went pretty heavy on you finding a bookkeeper. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
From the construction perspective, I was in your shoes and I understand what he means, right?
Yeah.
You really
Okay.
do need someone to help you. You need an advisor. You need to know what your numbers are because,
Sure.
bringing in $100,000 a month, then having almost nothing left over, I think we can both agree that is ridiculous, right?
Yes. Yes. I mean,
So,
I bring in 20,000, and I'm still left with 4 to 5 at the end of the month, and so my profits are starting to pick up because I've learned it. Okay. I analyzed it myself and said, okay, where was I doing frugalist spending? But it took me a while to sit down there at my QuickBooks and say, okay, you're spending here where you don't need to, or you've spent money here that you didn't figure on, and we need to know what those everyday bills are so I can increase my. Okay, I'm not charging enough for my jobs, and that's where I needed to go.
yeah, and a
So
lot of people don't realize they're not charging nearly enough, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, they figure, holy fuck, I'm charging $110 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be enough. Well, it depends on
Yeah.
your overhead. It
Yeah, it
depends on
depends on.
how loosey goosey you are with your efficiencies, right?
Yes. Yep.
So
Yeah. And I
110
mean,
might not be enough.
yeah, and for Christian, I mean, if he knew that, hey, maybe if I ordered it stuff a little bit earlier, maybe he would get things cheaper. Or if he's able to bundle, hey, if I ordered this job, and this job all at the same time, I have a place to store some of it. Since I'm buying in bulk, I
Yeah.
have it for the next 3 jobs, but I'm able to reduce my costs instead of just doing something small. There's those things too that I just don't know if he's able to realize stuff
Or
like
even
that.
just joining a buying group.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's all
Yeah.
it takes, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Yes.
so please give this some thought.
Okay.
I will schedule a meeting with the subcontractor, the bookkeeping subcontractor, and
Okay.
we can have a quick conversation. That way, when you feel comfortable, we can start referring business to him. And when
Mm-hmm.
you start referring business to him, then you see how well, it's not going to go seamless, but
No.
as we fix whatever needs to be fixed, and you get
Yes.
more and more confident, then you can
Yep.
devote more and more of your time to talking to guys like that
Yep.
and bringing more of them in.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And also we need to work on your trusted circle to increase, you know,
Yes.
those people as well.
Which I just increased that by about 5 people within the past 2 days.
Nice.
So, which is nice, and in 2 different towns. So, which is very nice. So it's like, yes, okay, now I got someone new here and someone new there that takes place of those people that weren't doing what I asked them to do. And, and it was nice that they were in the same home I was in, and I could see once what their work was like. So I was like, okay, yeah, you did very good work.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus.
Yes.
And the other thing
Especially when they're window cleaners.
yeah, you didn't have to make a trip to go see their workmanship. Um,
Exactly. Yes.
The other thing that I want to bounce off you is the van, the wrap, right?
Yes.
Um, I think, within the next 6 months or something, if we could get one of those on the road, considering your prices down there are a lot cheaper than what we can get them up here for, I think we should
Yeah,
keep that in the back of our minds.
I think we're still looking at 20 to 30,000 for something that's 2019 or 2020 or newer that that we would get through a lease or something like that because they won't lease anything. I might as well say a 2020 something that's not more than 4 years old. So I think that's where we're going to be at. But the market may be coming down here shortly on used vehicles, from what I'm watching.
Yeah.
On some
We've
video.
leased 2015s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. We've leased
Okay.
2015s.
So
As
so
long as they're 100, they like to be under 150,000 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles.
that would be probably right around 100,000 miles,
Yeah,
something like that. So under 100,000, probably.
yeah. But then again, it really depends on, how much, not pressure, how much buying power you can give the leasing company.
Hmm.
When we tell them how many vehicles we're looking to lease, they generally
Yes.
let us get away with the 10% down and so on. And we
Yeah.
also were able to add the wrap to the lease,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So there's one
Okay.
one payment. So
Sure.
anyways,
All right.
I'll let you go, finish
Okay.
eating, and we'll talk
Yep.
tomorrow.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good
All
night.
right, good night.
All right. Bye.